Hello, welcome back. Hope you're all well. As you know, in the last video I went to a call out on a generator, and this is just their spare one what I brought back. And as you know, it turned over really fast, and in my hand it feels like it's got no compression, so I'm guessing it's no compression. And it could be where it's been standing and there's a valve stuck, or it could just be tore out, who knows. Like, so I'm going to compression test it just to make sure that my thinking is right, because it feels like no compression, and the speed it turned over the other day was sort of very fast, you know. It's always been in my mind all the time. And last time we got it running about a year or so ago, it did run like a bag of crap. It was absolutely, well, it just sounded horrible. Because that will give you carb problems, or it would seem like carb problems and stuff like that with low compression. So I'm going to move the charger out of the way. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to move that out of the way so I can get to it a little bit easier. The battery is completely dead. I may jump it with another battery just to try it, but for now I'm just going to do it and pull it over by hand just to see what compression we've got. This is the little compression tester I've got. I've had it a few years now. It's only a cheap one off eBay, so I wouldn't say it's the most accurate compression tester. And I'll probably do a video on this later on if you're interested in that sort of thing. But we'll concentrate now on the generator. Hopefully you can see alright. Just going to take the plug out. I think we must have put a new. It looks fairly new, this plug. It looks fairly new, so I don't know what it looks like when it's out. So I'm guessing we must have put a plug in it, trying to keep it sorted out. Yeah, look. I'd say that hasn't even run on that, has it? Well, it must have done. We must have had it running. Much of a gap on it, but I won't worry about that for a second. Right, let's show you what. Just in case you haven't seen the compression set, test I should say. I'll show you that. Right, well that's the actual gauge, and on the side is a pressure release valve, and that just hooks into. I can't see the lens, the screen of them. That obviously just pushes in there like that, and that screws in the spark plug hole basically. They have different adapters on, and I found that if you put the adapter on it, like they tell you to put the adapter on for these different holes, the pressure's not right anyway. It gives you a false reading, so it's normally a lot lower when you put that on. So obviously there must be a better way around it. You really want, instead of a different end, you really want each pipe to have the different fitting, if you know what I mean. But this fits most plugs. Dropping the gauge don't help though. Right, I'll put the other light on, it might help, because it's a bit grainy by the looks of it on the screen. It's a bit dark in here. Yeah, take the gauge off when you fit it in. It's a little bit fiddly sometimes to get them started. You've got to make sure they're done. You don't need to over tighten them because they've got like a rubber O-ring on them, so just tighten them up. You will find that sometimes they have a bit of a pig to get off again. So just put the gauge through here so you'll be able to see it hopefully. Just got to figure out where I can put this, but it's not going to fall down. You hopefully you're going to be able to see it. Chokes off. Can't really open the throttle on it, but on an ideal situation you open the throttle out, let the air in a bit more, just give you a bit more chance. See if I can move you a bit. No, it's a pain when someone moves you, but I can see the gauge there or not. Yeah, hopefully. Right, so we just pull it over so the gauge stops moving basically. It's not looking very good. Just over 25, I would say that's about. Let's have a look at the gauge. So 45, 40, 45. Well, it's not quite 30. We'll try it again. You can see the gauge still there, yeah. 25 is not enough to start the engine. And we're just about 25 again. Right. Let's have a look what I'm going to do. What you can do is you can put a little drop of oil down the plug hole. I mean, only a little couple of drips. Let it run down. And if it's blowing past the piston rings, you put a little drop of oil down, that will build the compression back up. You'll find a lot of engines will start then, and then they run for a little bit, and then as soon as they've burnt the oil off, they start playing up, and then sometimes they stop or they just won't restart or whatever, you know. But, let's try that. Try a little drop of oil down. Right, I've just put a squirt down there. Squirt of oil. There's a couple of other things we can do. I've got a 4-stroke leak down test as well, which sort of just checks basically where there's leaks. That rigs onto the, fits onto the compressor, that one. It's not like the 2-stroke leak down, complete opposite. That will just check for like head gaskets and stuff like that. Like I say, sometimes this goes in easy and other time it goes in. You struggle with getting it in. You've got the angle wrong, slightly wrong. That won't do it. You know it fits because we've just had it in there. Right, let's get it in. Now this is with a couple of drops of oil down the piston. Hopefully that's enough time to run down to sort of seal the rings as such. We'll see what the difference is. I mean, if you put too much in it, just chuck it out anyway and give you a load of false readings. Well, this is a false reading. Have you got the gauge on that? Yeah. Well, let's try it. Now you can see that's what is that? Just set from this angle. That's the angle you're at, but it is on 35. So, like I say, if you put too much in it, what it will do is give you a false reading anyway. But that is sort of saying towards the rings. Whereas if it was a valve burnt out or a valve guide, or not a valve, got a valve stuck. The reading will stay the same because it isn't affecting the rings. So that's sort of a sign to say that it's tore out. It's rings. So there's a few other little tests we can do, and we'll have a little look. I don't want to strip it down if I don't, don't need to. But that's looking like it's rings. Might find that if I release the pressure, try it again. It might not be so high this time. Honestly, it probably might be a bit better on the key, but yeah, it's 30 this time. So it's dropping every time. That's the oil. It's sort of seeking, going back down. Obviously, we push the oil back up. Let's release it. We'll have another look in a bit. While to settle down again, so I thought I'd give it another pull just to see what reading we've got this time. I can see the gauge okay. Make sure it's not pressed on that button as well. So that's about it. Yeah, it's going back down, so that's on sort of nearly on 30, well no, I'm lined up. Yeah, it's just over 30, about 32, I should imagine 31, something like that. So definitely not enough compression. I'm going to take this valve cover off, just have a little look in there, but I'm guessing it's the ring end. If it was like a head gasket, putting oil in it shouldn't make that much difference to it. But it probably just, would it bring it up? No, it wouldn't bring it up really. Might a little bit, but not much. But for now, I'm just going to take the rocker cover, rocker cover off and have a look. Well, it's over a valve, so we'll take the cover off and have a little look. I don't think you can see it on the screen very well. I can't actually be in here, but that is actually might be able to see it better on the camera. Okay, that's the actual top of the piston. Let's see what me. I think it might be because it's so bright that it's always not bright enough, because getting all different colours come up. Basically, there's a lot of oil, not the oil I put in, but a lot of oil and carbon. I'm going to pull it out and have a look. That's down the plug hole. You can see the plug hole and the piston behind it. Hopefully. There you are, it's the plug hole, and the piston's got a lot of crap on it, a lot of old oil and carbon burnt out on it. Right, I don't know how well you can see that on the camera, but the piston is quite well carboned up on top, and with the light of the camera I can actually see down the plug hole. You know, I'll probably see better down the plug hole than I can actually on the camera. What makes me think it's been burning a lot of oil, so it's all pointing to rings at the moment, but might as well take the valve cover off and have a little look in there while we've got it apart. Might be some telltale signs in there, you never know. I do know that when I took the case off there was quite a bit of oil in the case. Another thing that makes me think it's blown back past the rings. But yeah, might as well have a look what it's here, so I might as well take it apart a little bit. But then I might try the other tester later, and we'll see. Right, I hope you can sort of see in there. The lights come on. It's a bit dark in there. The camera lights come on. But you can see the oil is, well, it's in here. It's clean as anything. It's like new. I know it was serviced by another company a few years back. Well, so I was told, but saying that, I've no idea. You know, I'm only going by what she said, and that's before I got involved with her. So that's got to be that's got to be 5-6 years ago at least. But everything moves. I'll pull it over. Valves seem to be moving up and down. Okay, like I said to you, I don't think it's probably at the bottom end. I just thought I'd show you. Might as well have a look, and these, you know, what we've got here. But you can smell the oil. The oil smells. Tell you what, actually, it smells. It just smells burnt. I can't actually smell it on my hands, but it does smell a bit petrol, you know. Just for another little experiment. Sorry about the bang. I think it's all doing something. Just for a little experiment, I'm going to put some oil down the plug hole, put the plug in, just so we get a fire, just see what it does with a little bit more compression. You never know, do you? It might fire for a few seconds or run for a few seconds, who knows. Right, just need to turn it on. Right, give it a go with some oil down the plug hole so it gives a little bit of compression to start. I've got quite a bit down actually. Nah, it still don't want to know, does it? This is my 4-stroke leak down tester. This is completely different to a 2-stroke one. You want to say 2-stroke one? I've done one about 3 years ago. So, but the box that this was in got left outside last night, and it peed down the road. It's full of water. Oh, well, it ain't much good. It's a cheap one I bought off eBay. I think I paid 15 quid for it, but it's never been right. So I do want to buy another one. But basically with this, you can, it just checks the top end on a 4-stroke, obviously no good for a 2-stroke, but it will check for like leaks to head gaskets, valves leaking, stuff like that, because you can hear with the air coming, you know, it just tells you, basically tells you. I'm not going to teach you how to use one of these, I'll do it on another video maybe, yeah, that one's full of water. I'll have to sort that out next. So I'm not going to be using that at the moment, but I'm guessing it's rings are gone. What happens quite a bit on these engines, but like I say, we ain't got enough compression. It's not going to start without the compression. Maybe if I put a bit of oil down and we get running over on the starter, but I really don't think I've got time to mess around with it today. Clee's taking it back tonight, so and then I'll get to find out what she wants to do with it, to be honest with you. But what do you do with it? You know, if it had a Honda engine in it, maybe, you know, better get the bits easy enough to rebuild it. But with what it's got in it, I don't know. I'll have to look into it. But I just thought I'd do a little video of me playing with it, so you see me pick it up when I got called out to the other one. And that's running fine, that's lovely. She's double checked it started again. And that's what they do, they run it for the other one, they start that up every day for a week or two, and then they leave it for months and months and then wonder why the battery's flat. Like I say, why they wanted to replace the battery, I don't know. This battery definitely needs replacing. But if not, it's scrapping it. Anyway, thanks for watching. All the usual stuff. Sorry we didn't get it going, but compression, when you ain't got compression on an engine, you ain't got compression. It's as simple as that, and it won't run without it. So I do wonder if at some point that it's flooded itself, and then they've been running it with watered down oil or petrol. You know, the petrol in the oil's watered it. The petrol in the oil's sort of watered it down, and they've run it like that. I'm not too sure, but all this looks like new. Yeah, it's a shame, but what else can you do to it? It's not worth keep checking things over and over and over again. It is what it is, no compression. As far as I know, I will double check though that it hasn't got a low compression to help start it. I will check that actually, but I don't think it has. Doesn't look like it has anywhere. But sometimes they do put like to make them easier to start, but I can't see nothing. I can't see nothing obvious. So we'll call it 8 for this video. What? Thanks for watching. Thanks to my new subscribers. Thanks to my old subscribers. And yeah, I shall see you next time. Bye for now.